got mail.
Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central, and welcome to the Mailbox, a series where we answer some of your questions about Overwatch as a whole, heroes, maps, the channel, us, and essentially anything at this point. If you do have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments below. We have a massive spreadsheet that we add all the questions to, no matter how good or bad they are, and we intend to get through as many as we possibly can. Let's go on straight away with the first question.
First off, we have Callum Morton asking, what do you think the modding scene will be like, i.e. custom maps, skins and so on? Jeff Kaplan answered a forum post asking about this a while back. What he basically said then was that it was something that he'd love to do, but wanted to make sure that it was implemented in a good way. Modding hasn't really been a big thing in Blizzard games, though we've seen StarCraft with its map editor and tools and so on. So maybe it's not completely unrealistic to happen in Overwatch here. I would love a system for community sets, sprays, player icons, etc. to be implemented. Maybe some sort of system in which the community could vote for the best community content every few months, and then the top 10 items would be added to the game. It might be tricky to pull off for Blizzard, but it's definitely doable.
I think ever since Blizzard said that the servers would be private, we've kind of got a good glimpse into how much freedom they want to give the community when it comes to stuff like maps, for example. So far the Overwatch team have been really good at listening to the community, and I'm sure they will implement tons of ideas of the sort of play of the game. As far as maps go, it'd be nice to maybe not see game modes and certain maps of different styles. It might be nice to see a wall run area for Lucio. Kind of like the thing you see in CSGO with the wall jumping and stuff like that. And general maps to help you get good at maneuvering with certain heroes are basically act like intermediate tutorials with how to play Pharah or Lucio, as I said, and zipping around with the Trace. I think that'd be really cool to see. But as Miska said, I definitely like the idea of community-based stuff and having a place for people to vote it in. I would very much like an Overwatch Central spray in-game. That would be pretty awesome. The Iwuta Kabuta, fantastic name, and not much else to say on that. How is Overwatch on the technical side? Do you guys have any trouble running the game? Well, there are a couple of crashes here and there, but I guess that's just because the game is in beta. I've seen a huge boost since I've upgraded from my 750 Ti graphics card to a 960. It runs sort of midway pretty well, 60 frames a second, and it looks great. I think everything above that is just a bonus. I think it'd be interesting to see how the game will run on launch as far as servers go. Overall, I'm just hoping we don't have a World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor on launch where nothing works, because that'd be a pain. But overall, game looks good. Game runs fine as well.
The game seems very well optimized overall. The engine is fantastic, and I haven't had any issues with it in terms of FPS at all. The only thing I'm slightly worried about, I guess, is the server situation during the presumed early access beta and the actual launch. Hopefully it'll all be fine. So far, so good. Next up is Philip asking, do you think that it is a good idea if you can buy any skins with real money? They haven't really said much about buying skins directly, but what they have said, and the community have also hinted at, is that you're going to be able to buy loot boxes. And there was a recent report of some people receiving a poll from Blizzard via email asking what people were willing to pay for a loot box. Personally, I would like to see a system similar to the Hearthstone one, where you can buy a few set amounts of boxes. The more you buy, the lower the price per box is. And however, the loot boxes would have to be cheaper than the card packs in Hearthstone due to the fact that you're just buying cosmetics and you can't disenchant or recycle unwanted cosmetics yet. So I think it's a good idea, but the price would have to be quite low.
I think with the loot box system, we're not going to see anything like Heroes of the Storm where you can just outright buy these cosmetics. Saying that, again, I agree with Miska. I think buying multiple loot boxes, the more you buy, the less they are per box. And you should be able to disenchant stuff you don't necessarily want. Whilst having a legendary skin on a hero you don't necessarily play might be a good incentive to start playing them, if you don't want it, you shouldn't have to keep it. If you want, you can disenchant it and put it towards something that you really want. But the problem with that is there's going to be people disenchanting everything so long as they got all the cool stuff for Genji, and that's all they're ever going to play now. So either way, I think there will be issues, but either way would work for Blizzard, I suppose. Alexander Yang asks, on Reddit there was talk about changing Zenyatta's ultimate because Zen charging into Protect doesn't fit his playstyle. Opinions? We've spoken about this quite a lot. Obviously things have changed for Zenyatta since we did a hero analysis on him. Most importantly, that his shields can now be healed, so he's not forced to have 100 HP, I think it was, that he was stuck on until his shields started to regen. I think it's more of a defensive ult as opposed to Lucio's. I think Lucio's can be used more as a initiation to push through certain choke points where there might be a Torbjorn or a Bastion to get the team through, hopefully unscathed, whereas Zenyatta is more, you're with the team, you're trying to protect someone, you hear an ult come in, you can ult and try and keep everybody with you. It's more of a backed into the corner sort of ult as opposed to charging in with your team.
Zenyatta is a difficult character to balance due to the ultimate. Whilst already a strong support, Zenyatta could use an ultimate rework since the change of playstyle really doesn't make much sense. It's difficult to say what exactly the new ultimate would be though. Possibly giving all allies harmony orbs for a short amount of time. It's difficult to know, like I said, since it's all just a complex balancing act in the end. So I'm not sure what would actually fit the game properly, but I feel like some sort of harmony orb thing where the allies can run off on their own a little bit more, since that's what Zenyatta is all about, just throwing the orbs on people and like on targets, so they will be able to move around still, but still have the buff or debuff, and Zenyatta can also position himself better. And the last question we have is from David Brown saying, what do you guys think about not allowing double heroes? In my opinion, Overwatch is about hero switching. It's a core mechanic of the game and that's what it's all about. And that aspect shouldn't be limited in official play in my opinion. It's nice to have the option available in custom game lobbies, but I don't want any of the official matchmaking playlists to enforce this rule. Blizzard have been fairly clear when it comes to the topic and don't seem to have any plans about changing the current rule set. And I'm definitely with them there.
I completely agree. I think the more freedom that the player has in regards to how many heroes they can have in their team, the better. Of course, the meta is going to suit certain players, and we might see the same sort of teams going out every single time. But I think that putting hero limits on heroes like Lucio, Winston, or whatever is actually going to make it much worse. I think it means that you have to have this hero and this hero instead of having the freedom to change it up. But yeah, essentially the more freedom that the player has, the better the game will feel as far as dynamic changing will go. And as Miska said, the game is all about hero switching, so limiting that seems counterintuitive. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Overwatch content and like this video if you want to keep this series going. We will have our first official kind of guide going out on Wednesday with King's Row, and hopefully by the end of this month we will start doing hero guides as well. Be sure to let us know what you want to see in regards to these guides. But until next time, take care and we will see you then.